Budget versus expensive gaming setups. How much should you really spend on a setup? So today I'll be looking at my viewers gaming setups for my Discord server. So if you guys do want to be in a future video, all you guys gotta do is join up my Discord server, which will be the first pin message in the comments down below, and it will also be in the description. Alright guys, so the first setup we actually got here is from Sim, and this is what his setup currently looks like. His setup probably costs around like $1,000 to like 1.5k, which is fairly budget. But as you guys can see, he has a PC right here, which honestly looks like pretty nice. As you guys can see, it has 4 RGB fans, which is pretty nice. You have an air cooler. He hasn't listed any specs, but he does have an RTX graphics card, and overall it does look pretty nice in his setup. And yeah, he does have a monitor, a microphone, a keyboard, a mouse, and also an Xbox controller. So he does have an Xbox console, which is pretty nice. One thing I do want to point out really quick is the desk. The desk looks like super small. It's only covering basically the length of the PC to the monitor, and there isn't really much room for mouse movement and all that. So I would definitely try and get a bigger desk, which would help out your setup quite a bit. Also try to organize your desk quite a bit. I see there's like RGB controllers and money and all that stuff on the desk, so I would try to organize everything and just make everything look a lot cleaner in your setup. And one thing I really do like in his setup is this wooden shelf that he has up. It just makes his setup pop out even further, and he also has like an RGB strip light across the wall, which looks pretty nice. I would probably try and get like maybe some posters or something just to fill in like all the blank areas in the room. I feel like that would help out your setup quite a bit. But for a budget setup, this is honestly pretty nice, and you guys can let me know what you guys think of this in the comments down below. Alright guys, and the next setup we actually got here is from Blueync, and this is what his current setup actually looks like. He has 2 Acer's monitors, which he actually got from his dad's workplace, which is honestly pretty cool. And right here he has a laptop powering the whole setup. It's the HP Victus laptop. It actually includes a Ryzen 5 CPU and the RTX 4050 GPU, which is honestly pretty decent. He also has a microphone right here. He has a Red Dragon keyboard, I'm pretty sure, and a Logitech mouse, which is honestly pretty nice. I would assume like everything in his setup probably costs around 1k, which is fairly budget. I would probably invest in getting some posters or some lighting or some shelves to just help make the background look a lot better. As you guys can see here, there isn't really much on the wall, but that can really help elevate your setup to the very next level. But overall, this is pretty decent for just the price of $1,000. I would probably say just continue to upgrade and find different things to, you know, improve your setup. But overall, this is pretty nice, and yeah, let's move on to the next setup. And the last budget setup we got here for today is Blinder's gaming setup, and his setup looks actually insane. He has a PC powering the whole setup, which actually includes a Ryzen 5 5800 CPU, 32GB of DDR4 RAM, and the RTX 3060 Ti as a GPU. I'm pretty sure his PC can actually get like over 400 FPS in Fortnite, which is actually crazy. But yeah, just the lighting and everything in his setup looks like super clean, and I'm pretty sure he did like a transformation recently, so this isn't even his updated setup. He is also a content creator, so he does have like a lot of sponsored products in his setup, such as the Echo Pulse right here. He also has the Monk's Geek Fun 60 Max keyboard, and also the Mayono microphone, which is honestly pretty nice. He also has one of the best mouse pads that you guys can actually get on the internet, which is Fluxy's mouse pads. And he also has a Samsung Odyssey G3 monitor, which is honestly like really nice. And of course he has a monitor light bar, and you guys can just tell like how this monitor light bar here just elevates his setup very nicely. It just adds some really good lighting, and overall his setup looks like super clean. He also has quite a bit of personality in his setup, such as cars for his wallpaper. He also has a Joker Funko Pop right here, and he also has 2 Porsche posters right here, which is honestly like pretty nice. One thing I do want to point out is that the cables are kind of showing on the side right here, so I would try and fix the cables. But overall, this is like one of the best budget setups I've ever seen, and this is all for the price of just $2,000, which is honestly like really nice. And yeah, let's move on to the expensive gaming setups now. Alright guys, and the first expensive setup we actually got here for today is Ian's gaming setup, and his setup roughly costs $5,000, which is honestly pretty nice. He has a PC powering the whole setup, which actually includes a Ryzen 5 5700 CPU, 64GB of DDR4 RAM, and the RTX 4060 Ti as a GPU. I just love like the whole lighting in his PC and the lighting just around his setup. He has a monitor mount, and the bottom monitor right here is actually a 240Hz monitor, 32 inches as well, which is pretty nice. The top is a 24-inch 180Hz monitor, which is pretty nice. He has a TOKB keyboard and the Logitech G203 as a mouse, and overall his setup just looks like super clean. As you can tell, he's going with this blue theme, especially with like the wallpaper, the PC lighting, the hexagon lights, and even the mouse pad as well, which is honestly like super cool. He also has a microphone right here as well. So overall his setup looks like pretty clean. there's not much I would give suggestions for this setup because it just looks like really nice. But I would just say, you know, continue to improve it, continue to add like different stuff to help with like personality and all that. But overall, this is a really nice setup. Alright guys, and the second expensive setup we actually got here for today is Flame's gaming setup, and his setup actually looks like really insane. One thing I do want to point out, and one thing I really do like, is like the personality he has in his setup with all like the Funko Pops, all the different posters, the shells with the fake plants and all that stuff, and even like the lighting as well. It just helps to make his setup pop out even further, and I really do like that about his setup. His setup roughly costs around $3,000, which is pretty nice. He has a PC here, powering the whole setup, which actually includes an Intel i7 12th Gen as a CPU, 16GB of DDR4 RAM, and the RTX 4070 as a GPU, which is honestly like pretty nice. He's rocking this pretty clean double monitor layout, which is pretty nice. His main monitor is actually the Gigabyte 27-inch 144Hz monitor, which is actually the main monitor that I actually have here as well, which is awesome. He also has a monitor light bar. He has a basic keyboard and mouse that came with this PC, which is pretty nice. And yeah, he also has some really good lighting, especially with the monitor light bar and also the lava lamp down here as well. And he also has some consoles as well, such as the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, and the Xbox Series X, which is awesome. Also guys, Flame won my giveaway for the Fine AM8 microphone, so that has really helped out his setup quite a bit, and also his streams as well. Also, he has this really nice gaming chair from Rocker right here, which has a nice black to red theme, and it just has some really good cushioning, which helps to make his setup pop out even further. And yeah, this is what his setup actually looks like in the dark, so you guys can see like how the monitor light bar just looks like super clean. So is the lava lamp, and also this Xbox LED sign at the bottom right here. One thing I would try and get is probably some LED strip lights, which I think would help make your setup pop out even further. It'll just add some really nice lighting, and even in the dark your setup will look super clean as well. So overall, I think Flame's setup is also really good, guys. You guys can let me know what you guys think of his insane setup in the comments down below, and let's move on to the next one. The third expensive setup we actually got here is Will's gaming setup, and his setup roughly costs $7,000, which is actually crazy. He has a PC powering the whole setup, which I don't think it's on the desk, but his PC actually includes an Intel i9 12th Gen as a CPU and the RTX 3080 as a GPU, which is honestly pretty good specs. I'd probably try and include that in your setup so it can help make your setup pop out even further. But as you guys can see here, he has like really good lighting, especially with like the monitor light bar. It looks like he has like a really good keyboard right here and a mouse as well. He also has a microphone. He has a clean double monitor layout right here, and just like plans to add a lot of personality in his setup, which is amazing. And everything just looks like super clean in his setup. Looks organized, and yeah, there's just like a lot of stuff that just makes his setup pop out even further. Yeah, and that right there, guys, will conclude the video here for today, guys. If you guys did enjoy, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notification bell. If you guys do want to be in a future video, all you guys got to do is join on my Discord server, which will be the first pin message in the comments down below, and it will also be in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know which setup was your favorite.